Right. Very good. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for this final best of 3 of today. We got G2IG, brought to you by the legendary Jack Chen, also known as Korean Barbecue, versus Gaimin Gladiators, as we see the Bounty Rune battle occur here. One arrow, as in the auto attack arrow, not the spell. Don't get confused, Cinderin.
Absolute most in international tournaments. And a big part of it has been because G2IG's playstyle in the last year has been a little bit slow to build up in the early game. And guess what? Gaimin Gladiators are one of the teams that we've seen in the last year that dominate the lanes and snowball the games the hardest. And that's what I would like to see today G2IG avoid, is to just get rolled over, get out of the early into the mid game on somewhat even terms so that you can actually bring a fight to Gaimin Gladiators. Because honestly, out of all the matchups today, this is the one where I favor one team the most. Now that said, that also means that if G2IG could somehow pull out a victory in this series, that would be huge for their momentum going forward if they could finally overcome their big Achilles heel over this entire year. Having that in round 1 probably isn't the most inspiring, but I guess on the other hand, pressure's off, right?
Yeah,
you're not expected to win this one.
Well, Nouns weren't expected to win the last series.
That is true.
Other than with you. You apparently did call it somehow. Just
I did not. I just said I wasn't.
You just used all your luck.
Oh,
that
man.
one call, Cinderin.
Look, I appreciate you giving me credit that I didn't even earn, because I didn't call they were going to win. I said I wasn't surprised, because I thought Nouns are actually looking pretty good when they're playing well. And, you know, any given series when you're hot, and maybe the enemy team isn't playing their absolute best, the difference in skill between the teams at this tournament is small enough that any team can take a game off each other. We've seen that multiple times already.
I think that's true for the last few TIs at the very least. It's not like the old days, you know, where a team like Digital Chaos would show up, people would just dumpster all over them, underestimate them, and then they end up going second place. So it's just crazy.
Wow,
crazy.
It's amazing. They must have had a manager that was really good at Counter-Strike.
That guy is legit.
Insane.
Anyway, back to the game. Quinn in the mid lane playing the Sand King versus Nothing to Say's Pangolier. How does this matchup generally go?
I mean, I would say on paper, probably Sand King favorite, specifically because I think the heroes both will be able to find farm in the lane itself, but as we've seen in other Sand King mid situations, Sand King can pull the wave and also farm an additional side camp. So Quinn should be able to get more value out of the lane when he hits higher levels, just from that efficiency play. Pango can, in theory, do the same. He's just not as fast at it and as efficient, so Sand King should pull ahead. But, you know, as far as Pango matchup is not looking too hot, but Nothing to Say is
pretty sure
that narrative.
That's user error at the end of the day, Cinder. Definitely a good hero.
Yeah, Pango cannot be bad.
We've learned, awesome. Yeah, they've tried to nerf him how many times, he's still good. So, just too small of a sample size. Keep trying, guys. Speaking of small sample size, I think it's, what, 11 games or so of Luna so far, but a super, super high win rate.
Yeah.
And I believe your prediction, gonna put words in your mouth here, she will be a first phase ban or pick later in the tournament.
I think she will be bumped up in priority. Currently, she's 9-2. Her games have been looking really convincing overall. I think this is, for me right now, in my power rankings, the best carry in the patch. And yeah, it's entirely possible she gets bumped up. Let's see, Bobo kept 5 stacks. Wow, poison. See you later.
That is a lot of damage. Celery's actually gonna live. Yeah, that's surprising as well. So, good first blood for Gaimin. I mean, this is an old school combo. Disruption into LSA. I mean, they have the arrow as well if they want to transition Piranha over. Why is the Shadow Demon, why did it get through this time? And they were talking on the panel the fact that Shadow Demon can purge some of these buffs, like the Crimson Guard and whatnot. But the side of Gaimin Gladiators not having to worry about that at all, as Quinn making his way over into the jungle.
Probably not going to be too happy to see the double spawn of Gaimin there, as I like to call the Mud Golems.
Double spawn of Gaimin.
Actually, I guess I should call them Spawn of Gods, I suppose would be more fitting. If you remember that?
Nope.
You don't remember Golem Get You Gone?
No.
Really?
Is this a meme?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's
oh my goodness.
You think I keep up with memes? That's actually the meme, is I don't know memes very well.
That is fair.
Mid lane, we can see the CS. Quinn is winning right now. Of course, some of that is the jungle, but Nothing to Say. Not too far behind regardless. I mean, in terms of levels, pretty close. And who's the first hero to transition over? The 6-minute power rune is about to come up.
Yeah, it's largely going to be dictated by that, isn't it? Unless, I mean, I suppose on paper, the G2IG lineup would really like to make a move to activate their Ench, and Pango can combine with that very well for a potential tower dive. Uh-oh, top lane.
And LSA.
Fine, but the pressure on to JT here.
LSA is going to pop this Rolling Thunder. Will connect onto Celery. Baboka makes his way over as well with the Centaur Stomp. That is, it almost was a perma-stun, but
in case of any shenanigans, but nobody...
I feel like most games we've been seeing, this is the exception, of course, that we're watching. We've been seeing entire teams show up for the first couple Wisdom runes. Why do you think that is suddenly becoming a thing? Because we've talked about it ourselves amongst, you know, the idiots that watch us and listen to us generally, that Wisdom is super is dead.
This just in, Suns fan hates the audience.
I mean, you'd have to be dumb to want to listen.
All right, well, I like you guys, okay?
Big kill though for G2IG.
Yep, that's the one you would have loved to see them get maybe a little bit earlier, but they do get the Lina kill and try to turn it into a tower push. Can't commit for the kill, but it will be handy to have later if he looks for a fight. Gotta say, nothing to say being top of the net worth here is surprising to me. That is a good look right now for the Pango. Is behind an experience against Sanking as expected, but the gold is there.
Yep, definitely off to a good start.
Looking at a fast Mage Slayer.
Burrow Strike will find Monet. Level 5 right now on the Luna. Baboka gonna force point back, although we have a Fiend's Gate coming in. Is he gonna cancel that?
He did.
Indeed he did. Nothing to say. Gonna spot a couple more towards the river here from Gaimin Gladiators side. Taking some creeps. Arrow's not really gonna hit. Nice block from Baboka. Stacks on Baboka. That Shadow Flip. That's a lot of damage to the Starstorm on top. That is actually enough. Celery gets credit for that one. LSA does clip JT, but no kill to come. And of course,
this
is
a
the stack
big
on
moment.
these Ancients.
Yeah, Gaimin Gladiators, this is a very planned out move. They know the stacks are there, they really want to contest them and use the Sand King Underlord power right now, but with Underlord not connecting, he actually can't take advantage of it. RP,
Skewer back into the tier 1, Duraccio. LSA is going to hit, but there comes nothing to say on the Pangolier. That'll bring the Lina to her knees. And it looks like Tofu will possibly next, has the last lead usage. Snowball does connect, so that's 2 kills going the way of G2IG in defense of their triangle.
Yeah, and they didn't even lose many Ancients. These Ancients actually just softened up now, so they can just go and farm these even easier than they were planning.
Thanks, Gaimin. We appreciate this team. You guys need to go past 30 minutes, you'll be fine. So they're taking his advice. I don't know why they weren't doing it before, but you know, better late than never.
All right, you've mentioned him twice in 11 minutes. You're staying on track here. I did give you the challenge to mention him once every 15 minutes. Keep the timer in mind. You have to talk about him again within 25. So.
All right, yeah, we're good for a while.
Yeah, you're on par. Maybe I'll give you a little buffer here. Quinn.
Okay.
We have this time.
There is the pivot Malice. Monet in a lot of trouble. Nova's the one to die first, though, and doesn't look like they can catch up to the Luna. That's honestly all of this rotation just for a Tusk.
This is a pretty good result for G2IG if they get out of dodge. They will get purged on NTS, but nobody can really connect. However, Baboka, probably not so lucky. Arrow dodged. Okay.
Has the healing going. Only one stack of that Shadow Blade.
Happen.
So a lot of wasted time here for Gaimin Gladiators.
Gotta keep your eyes open when you go in. Got that dagger
being
now.
Delivered.
Yeah. Pretty good start for JT.
Absolutely.
This, I believe, is the second Magnus game of the whole tournament. He's been a very unpopular hero. He's 1-0, I believe.
We'll find an opening. Easy arrow set up. Well, the snowball will delay things, and some allies are coming over, and he gets to the high ground. That's a big shield crack from Nothing to Say. He gets the Rolling Thunder off as well. Looks like they might have to just settle for the Shadow Demon, but still.
Actually, both things can be true at the same time.
That's true.
I'm okay for now, though. Thanks for...
JT smoked up.
Thanks for caring.
Wanting to show off this Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to use the smoke to try to contest the 14-minute Wisdom, but they're respecting Gaimin's position on the map too much that this could just be a trap and be really high risk for medium reward, and they will just settle for potentially finding themselves a little Sand King snack here. I hear that Scorpions are the future of...
Oh my goodness, that reaction time.
Very
nice. Disgusting.
Everyone was stunned except you.
Yeah, that's a cool feature.
That's I believe a certain other game developer would call that anti-fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Much like this conversation. Yeah. Anyway, so Gaimin Gladiator.
That's me. Takes one to know one. If you need any anti-fun facts, just talk to me.
Somehow that became really uninteresting. Usually I'm really into that, so.
Yeah.
Monet
getting worse in my old age.
Out here.
Yeah, this is a big moment to dodge, but...
Okay, we got the Burrow Strike looking for the arrow. Nova takes it. damage comes through, trying to dissuade them from coming any further. The RP on the 2 here. Nothing to say with the swashbuckle and his ult onto 3. Gonna use the rope as well as Ace. He's a bit isolated. The Gladiators getting back on and now the aggression from Gaimin Gladiators continues. They get 2 kills on 2 cores. Epicenter to follow from Quinn. Nothing to say. Not gonna have much to say after this. That is for damn sure. Although he is pretty tanky with that shield crash, and the Drinking Buddy's giving a little extra boost. Maybe a double world strike from Quinn, and the damage is just unbelievable from Gaimin Gladiators. Triple kill for Ace, and this is gonna be a full team wipe at the 17-minute mark. Wow, ultra kill for Ace. And they're gonna get a tier 1 to boost. Somehow, out of nowhere, they just blow this game
There's
wide.
no real backup here. So they use the Greaves on the Underlord and they just stay alive. On the whole team, Andarachi with a beautiful Gladiators and 2-man stun. Kind of seals the deal. But look at the row they are.
Yeah.
I think he got stunned mid shield crash there as well, by the way. On nothing to see the place. So you're always going to have that in your back pocket if they try to high ground. I mean, with the fight you saw the potential. It's just a matter of lining things up that little bit better. So if they can hit a 2-hero RP and a Rolling Thunder on top, and then to have an Eclipse that is dealing damage in the meantime, I could easily see them find multiple kills. The tricky part is, with that big teamfight victory, the Underlord pipe is not that far away, and that's going to swing things in a big way. Well, look at Fury this time.
Onto a tanky target. Ace already had big figure into the counter initiation from Quinn. Going off that Bloodstone. Here's the Pit of Malice onto the 2 supports of G2IG. Will likely fall very shortly here. Age is still intact as Darachi just right-clicks JT casually. Nothing to say. Oh, just in time with that disruption to cancel the TP. And again, it's been 9 kills in a row, if I'm not mistaken, on the Gaimin Gladiators side.
And the tower, and this was just a full-on deliberate bait for me.
More normal than others, but that's fast.
Yeah. It's definitely hard times incoming now for the side of G2IG. But I do think the mindset here should be we should look for a fight. I think if you keep giving Gaimin the map control, you're just kind of digging your own grave.
Oh, he's actually going for it. Center with the follow-up stun from the Mirana. Nothing to say, gets off the roll-up into the Rolling Thunder. Looks like he's getting fine, actually. Quinn's going to take a fully clip, but there's a disruption from Cello to save him. The RP on the 3 here with that huge steal to follow. Do they have the damage to follow? That Block is actually standing his ground. Remember, he still has the Aegis. And after all of that, they get 4 kills on Gaimin's side, and all they lose is the Aegis, and it will likely just be a full team wipe again. Tofu does die, so finally a kill for G2IG, but my goodness, this escalated quickly.
Yep, as we said 10 minutes ago, this one is not going to be sub 30. But then, I guess, then everything just went right for one team and wrong for the other, and here we are.
It happens.
I think 7 minutes ago, this was dead even in net worth. That's how I remember it. So Gaimin have effectively gained 2,000 gold per minute over the enemy team. And they're getting 2 lanes of reps. They just hit critical mass. They got 2 tanky.
Will they get 2? I mean, it's so early that the respawn timers
I
are
don't
very
know
fast.
if G2IG can defend without RP and
It's true.
the Rolling Thunder. They are going to show them the respect here that is a potential play, and I don't mind it. You know, you're in total control. Really, this disruption is super important for Celery. Without this, they lose this fight. But Quinn is just healing with Bloodstone. The RP, really nice combo. But yeah, the Eclipse is gone. So you pop everything on your Underlord Greaves pipe and just go in, and there's not enough damage in the tank for the side of G2IG.
Surprised Tofu died. Just ran away from the impetus.
Yeah. They could have maybe done this fully.
Yeah, I think so. So one rare mistake here for Gaimin. The last few minutes of the game, nothing to say. He's going to get caught out. Gets the Rolling Thunder off, though. He'll live, and will TP to safety.
But this is effectively Gaimin just...
Did not TP, actually.
Are they going to force this now without Pango?
Quinn has a shield rune. You do not want to deal
He
with
is not killable. Well, they do have Enchant, but...
That's true. That's true.
Rancho going to work on the top tier 2. This looks like an easy grab for him. Ace can tank this forever.
Yep, he's a big boy. So he's got that pipe, along with the Greaves, of course. And Crimson will be next up, not even that far away. And he's only the third most farm in the game.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we haven't really talked that much about Quinn's farm, but I mean, that's what Mid Sand King does, right? This hero has just been buffed so much, has a tendency to get this rich. If you're ahead, you can just walk around with the Sandstorm Dust Devil and just keep farming.
RP onto Duraccio, but the disruption. He's surrounded by enemies right now. He's in the fair balance from the side. Duraccio trying to run and slow to a crawl. Oh, epic batter from Quinn, destroying everybody from G2IG. And that's it. That's game one in the books. Gaimin Gladiators slap around Jack Chen, and they win game one.
25 minutes exactly, huh? Well, yeah, that's
It's just so
Back
weird.
at game one, obviously it didn't go the way you guys wanted it, and you've come back in game two and basically stolen the draft of GG. So can you explain to me what went wrong in game one and how you think you might have fixed it in game two?
第一把之后，第二把你们的 BP 几乎选了对面大部分的英雄，上一把的英雄，可以跟我们说一下吗？
就我们选到中间的时候，就意识到好像是跟对面刚才一样吧，就可能就也只是凑巧吧。
So halfway into the draft, we realized that we picked half of majority of the heroes from the last game's draft from Gaimin. So it's just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence, fair enough. And
这
Luna
种
seems
都
to be
会跟这个比较多，大家都很懂怎么打。所以现在 Luna 就但是可能虽然一开始没被关注到，所以现在这一轮还是比较不错的。
So Luna stands out in this patch, and some of the other ranged carries have been learned and studied, and so people know how to counter them. So Luna is starting to shine.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Super, and good luck in the game. And over to the casters, Cinder and Sunswag.
Thank you, Ted. Maybe next time we can get an entire life story before the game starts. That's your objective for next time. Appreciate you as always.
he did it.
Oh, but this is first blood. It might be concoction. Will Duraccio with first blood on an alchemist? Okay. James.
The classic carry is hunting the 4
This
while
is a
Chen
good
is farming
opportunity
lane
to
strat
learn.
that we have come to know and love from Gaimin Gladiators. Interesting stuff. You know, the whole thing about this being a coincidence or whatnot, I don't know if, I feel like the Sand King was just bound to be a highly contested hero, and so was Shadow Demon. So honestly, I kind of believe it, that they weren't deliberately trying to take the exact heroes that Gaimin were running last game, but that it kind of just turned out that way. You know, you're likely to play the Mirana because the enemy has Chen, so it kind of just lined up that way. As far as what the panel is saying, I'm kind of with them. I think this is the type of game where Gaimin Gladiators, historically when they run this lineup, are Duraccio, big damage.
Does hit.
He will
Duraccio.
live here, but is taking quite the beating. Doesn't have too much region to go with it either.
Only one tango gifted by Celery.
Yeah. This feels like a timed game from the side of Gaimin Gladiators. I don't think they have the longevity in this one to not clean it or close the game out at the right time. It's not like it's super tight that they have to hit exactly 25 minutes or something, but if G2IG rather get to reach that later stage and both Razor and Luna are having good games, I would definitely heavily favor them later on. So yeah, it's a matter of can they weather the storm? Can they not get run over by what happened last game? And one significant difference between the lineup Gaimin are running this time compared to the last one is they don't really have catch. So if you're playing a lineup that wants to play keep away and farm, the good news is the only hero that has a stun on the side of Gaimin is Alk, who's the carry.
Yeah.
The bad news is if you lose your towers pretty early on, you might run into the problem that you can't kill the enemy cores because they're all 3 tanky with Chen, and then they can just beat you without catch by just controlling areas. So defend your towers is probably the name of the game here, and get off to a good start in the lanes.
Would you say Gaimin's lineup is harder to execute because they don't have the CC?
I think there's less margin for error than there was in game 1 for them. But they obviously play to an extremely high level most of the time in their games, so they should feel comfortable and they know what the objective is. They know what the weakness of their lineup is and they know what the strength is. But so does G2IG. So yeah, I would say less margin for error. If they have a couple of bad dives on the side of Gaimin, they could just run out of steam entirely. So that the moves need to be executed properly. And also, I think Doom has an atrocious win rate, which is interesting, to say the least. In this,
On all facets, would you say?
I think in the previous many games we've seen this hero in this stage of the tournament, I think it's lost every game. I think it's like 0-7 in this playoffs bracket, if I'm not mistaken. It's something really, really bad.
So you're telling me there's a good chance of game number 3 here?
I wouldn't put it that way,
Okay.
but there's a good chance that Doom will lead. It's, I guess part of the problem for Viper is how do you really fit in? Like, what items do you buy? You want your teammates to buy the auras and then group up and push. So I suppose if you have a really good core-to-core matchup, that can be justifiable. Oh, Quinn's in trouble, by the way.
Yep, Xnova making his way over. Disruption's there. TP is going to be kicked. Tofu actually eats the arrow, and they turn it around onto nothing to say, despite it being a 2 versus 3. Sniper very strong.
That is such an insane TP.
Shrapnel to yet another kill. I don't even understand what we just witnessed here.
I want a replay of that to see if that TP was on purpose. If they actually saw Mirana, if they're just totally randomly TP'd into the line of that arrow. Because it changed everything that he ate the arrow. Otherwise, you're
will just be
trading.
traded. So second game in a row, we're not really seeing any action on top of that. But back in the day, Syndra, Vipers picked to kind of dominate their lane, right? Now you're picking, I mean, and to break heroes. It used to be Nether Toxin that broke. Now it's the ult. You see any value? I mean, he didn't really win his lane, although that gank really helped. How important is that hero getting off to a decent start? Comeback, because Nether Toxin does farm a lot faster than it used to.
Daracho's in trouble, answered after that. Let's see if they
Nova.
get... Oh, they didn't disrupt at all.
They did not.
Now
they will. Arrow
offered.
will connect, and JT is here to finish the job. But Baboka actually claims it for himself instead.
Got there in the end. That got a little bit scrappy, but
Luna is actually not bad. Moonglaze being disabled is kind of a
that's
big
true.
In the
I mean,
late game.
maybe we're underestimating the value that Viper is going to offer in that regard.
It's 6 seconds break. That's pretty long.
Yeah, that's very true. Might be one of the main reasons even that they chose this over alternative options. The timing plus the break.
Quinn definitely struggling in terms of farm, as Daracho being forced out of his comfort zone as well. He's being hounded by Xnova constantly in this game. Gaimin do have a 2K lead, but this is the Alchemist effect and the Doom. I guess they have both on their team.
Yeah, they have.
So it's gonna be really hard to gauge like what the actual net worth is. Both these heroes are kind of supposed to be ahead. Nothing to say. He's gonna get doomed. And Viper struck. He's just gonna TP, but no, the Infernal Blade is there to give the extra damage. And that is the death of the mid laner for G2IG.
Yeah, and it's the loss of the tower, which I think is the much bigger concern here. This is what G2IG need to try to avoid, and what Gaimin Gladiators need to accomplish is get the tier 1s down ASAP. They've taken top and mid pre 10 minutes, which is great. Got to keep that ball rolling, because ultimately what this will do is it will free up Alk to have so much space, and they will be allowed to bleed a hero here or there, especially their supports, while all of their cores get filthy rich with their Doom Midas and their Alk Radiance. And that doesn't... Don't be fooled. This isn't Gaimin Gladiators playing for some 45-minute timing with their greedy heroes. They're playing for a 25-minute timing with their greedy heroes. They just need to get a couple of key items that these naturally will build into with their Midas/Radiances. As Luna will be assassinated. That's a team cancel.
They don't have a lot of, I would call normal CC type stuns, but they do have the mini stuns, right? They have the Infernal Blade, they have the Assassinate,
Yeah,
and that's 2 attempted TPs there, so twice in a row now. Gaimin off to a decent start in terms of the kills. Dewarding action here.
Formation is just so important for G2IG, so you need to make the right map read. Either that, or you need to take initiative and try to force Gaimin to run after your moves, but hasn't really been the case. We haven't seen too much initiative from the Sand King, Shadow Demon, Mirana combination with maybe smoke moves across the mid.
He's gonna get Viper struck again, and Celery is here with all his creeps, and the Assassinate from Tofu is enough.
Yeah, if you do this in a pub game as Sniper, I don't think your team is particularly happy with it, but...
He's going drums farm in the early stage of the game. So at what point do you sell... Sorry, I didn't even check the Doom Fest. I assume it's the...
He's got Devil's Bargain, yeah.
Or Devil's... I always get those mixed up in names. But so, at what point do you think you actually sell this Midas? As Assassinate onto Xnova. Quinn, very fast.
Haste will do that.
And eventually will find this kill, surely. Good to go. Also does have boots of travel, by the way, so the Ultra ability is actually TPing a few meters away. And is JT able to TP out?
When does Doom sell Midas? Whenever he can turn it into an aura item, I think. I think he keeps the Midas for now, gets the blink, and then I assume he will go pipe next. And when he can complete the pipe by selling Midas, we're probably going to see that to hit this ridiculous mid-game timing where third item after Manta BKB or something to that sort. Most of the time, I don't really want to count Mask of Madness as a full item. Just a little bit of a build-up.
G2IG, they have gone through the gate. They are smoked. Quinn is going to be the first one they've has run in. That's broken from the creeps, trying to get to the high ground. Arrow connects with the static storm. JT will actually use the epicenter. They'll get the kill. Ace jumps in with the Doom on top of the Razor. Just going to stand his ground right now. Xno is going to be the first to fall for G2IG, but already 3 members of Gaimin deleted from the face of the map as Dyrachyo now on the run. Along with Ace, the arrow does hit him right in the ass. And nothing to say except, okay, they're going to miss the burrow strike, as Dyrachyo's going to have to use the deny himself.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Symphony of fails. My
Such a sick arrow into such an underwhelming follow. Baboka has to be livid.
That is unfortunate.
Man.
That would have been a huge kill, for sure. I mean, they still win the fight. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Okay, let's focus. But yeah, okay, just to highlight, not that you can always trust the win expectancy graph or anything. It can be misleading, but consider this. One team is 5,000 gold up minute 19, and they, according to the graph, have 38% chance to win the game. I think that's very telling for the type of game that we're dealing with here, that the system still favors. Gaimin still loves G2IG in this one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I fully agree with those percentages, if it's more like 50-50, but all right, let's be honest, that's a good starting point for G2IG against a mid-game of Gaimin.
It is Luna. Luna is a monster.
Yep.
That might have something to do with it. Maybe it's the new
Alk and Chen creeps. You can do it pretty fast with Viper as well. These heroes add together quite nicely for it. G2IG would love to fight there, though. They have a really good Roche pit lineup, but not the best at killing the man himself. We'll be looking for a smoke now. They're also scanned. I'm not sure who scanned the pit. That would actually be a nice quality of life change, would be to be able to see the color of the scan. When 2 teams are scanning simultaneously, it's a little bit tricky to tell who scanned where.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was G2IG scanning Roche. They will find Chen.
Oh, the arrow will not hit because of the creep. Celery will actually live. Unreal.
Very nice self-save there with the Whirlwind. That's not what it's called. That's Wind Ranger's facet.
What is it called, actually?
I don't remember what that ability that the Wild Wing has is.
Go find one on the map, Cinder, and that's your job for the next few minutes. We have a smoke now from Gaimin. Wrap around. Test his potential Roche. JT. Over the trees here. They can see a Sandstorm, though, as now a Greaves is online for Celery. Tougher to kill.
Monet, this is awkward. If he goes through the gate and his team don't, they're going to get caught off.
He's through the gate.
Uh-oh.
Said,
they're getting scouted by Mantis.
do they sniff this out?
Get the
Mass
hell out of there.
TPs, and it looks like everyone will get out of dodge.
Now, if Gaimin realized this happened, they could just go for Roche. This was a full-on... They just conceded... This Roche is dead. They just conceded the area. This was a lineup that, in my opinion, wants to take this fight, but they got caught in very awkward limbo, and now they have no choice but to let Gaimin have what they came for. So that worked out very well for the Gaimin side.
They literally just walked around and eventually just stumbled into the Roche pit. Like, yeah, I guess we'll take it.
This is the highest impact position 5 you're possibly going to see. He saved himself with the Wild Wing, and therefore they get a full Roche for free.
Self-save.
Yeah.
I love it. There's the blink. Ace gets off the Doom. The BKB popped.
Race is
and
pretty
now
fast.
running away. Catch. If you talked about their lack of catch, the Viper strike just in range, though. I think they will eventually have the Burrow strike in the last moment from JT. Slowing Ace to a crawl. The assassin, and nothing to say he's actually going to live. They lose X Nova, but if that's it, that's a really good trade for G2IG.
Good save. Didn't cost them. So that was Doom out the window to lose the SD. And they still have Glyph to defend the tower, so perhaps mounting a defense here? I don't know if that's ill-advised or not. Maybe just, it looks like they're just conceding it. Not looking to set anything up here. We're letting the side of Gaimin have this. And are starting to gain some more control back once again. That Roche kill is so instrumental to the outcome of this, the potential outcome that is of this game. That if it gave them the confidence to finally go for a push. Still not getting the ultimate goal here. Anything better than that is icing on the cake, and they will now try to finish off mid. To say, trying to be a bit of a nuisance, but it looks like Quinn is not phased by this, and will finish the job. So, oh, never mind, bitch.
The arrow is gonna hit. JT, he's slowed by the shrapnel. He's jumping in, kind of on both sides. Everyone's green all of a sudden. He's just indestructible. Viper strike onto the Raze. We're gonna continue on here. Zarachi's gonna pop the Manta and run away. Is Quinn pretty deep right now, and nobody's taking damage. And finally, Quinn is the one getting low. That is the Aegis down. Question is, who wants to reaggress, if anyone? Darachi is looking for a fight. Gets the blink. Concoction is going to connect onto 2. They get the tier 2 tower, and it looks like that'll break things up.
So that... I'm not sure what exactly pushed Monet away there, but his entire Eclipse went on the trees. So I think this game, you can block Viper Strike, you can block the Doom, you can block... Even the Concoction can actually be really valuable in the right circumstance to block. Maybe they're not considering it too much because of Sniper. Just being able to proc it from mega long range is a bit of an issue.
Seeing some backpacking of Link.
That's true. They could backpack it if they're clutch. This is such... This movement. Uh-oh, Celery.
I don't think he's going to get out of this one. Whoa! Mr. Quinn is TP. He actually gets in. The Viper strike of Tron. The standing Celery does die. As Quinn, Hurricane Michael, the rest of his team connects. Darachi eating down X-Nova. It's going to be 1-1 to start this fight. I was going to say is BKB has now dissipated as he runs away. JT. It's like they're not going to focus on him too much, although now they're going to wrap around, and oh, Darachi actually blinks away with Concoction, looking for the more value kill, and nothing to say, but he manages off. Concoction Monet gets off the Eclipse, but it's a lot of BKB, so not a ton of damage, and now the Doom applied to the Luna, who just TP's back to base, will be able to live through it. Everybody is so damn tanky, man.
Yep. That ended up being a support trade. And again, a BKB for a Doom. Honestly, considering how that was shaping up, decent for G2IG.
I feel like would favor G2IG.
But it's also, if the gold, let's say they gain 1,000 gold every 2 minutes. Are Gaimin actually gaining, or is it even when they have Doom and Alk, right? Like, it's kind of going according to expectations. So...
Well, at a certain point, though, as far as fast.
Racho, no.
Okay, Racho. Yeah, he's dead. Plain and simple.
Now that is a big kill. And it goes to Monet. He got the demon's number in gold, the number of the beast.
Oh, yeah.
That can happen. Yeah. So I think the risk reward on that hero in particular makes it a little bit less appealing to stay there. And if you asked him, I'm sure he would consider that one just a flat out mistake. But back on the horse game in Gladiators, they go smoke. They just lost 6,000 gold.
The Doom applied, Destruction comes out to delay things, but I believe the Razor has done so. Gaimin Gladiators with a huge kill. X-Nova will follow suit. The question is, what can they get out of this? Roche, we won't know for the next minute when that spawn comes up. They obviously do have a lot of auras, and
40 seconds.
They can try to push.
There's a glyph.
Quinn did go for the shard, by the way, so he's going to do a lot of damage to these towers.
Can't wait to see him kill Luna with the tower.
Just get those stacks up.
This tower is going to melt when this fortification goes down.
25 seconds of no Razor. Arrow coming in. He's going to connect onto the Doom. As Darachi punch BKB didn't have a stun as well. Going to focus everything on the Mirana. She's dead just like that. That was still 3 dead for G2IG, and Gaimin hadn't really taken too much damage as the tower does fall. Does not kill a hero in the process. Now focusing on the range racks. Razor's back up though. Gaimin likely will reset.
That was a that felt like just a flat out mistake from Baboka, that leap direction. I think he meant to turn and maybe he got mini stunned or something.
Fake back? No.
But yeah, if Mirana doesn't leap in and die there, perhaps they don't even suffer any casualties, but at the very least they didn't lose the barracks, but still Gaimin Gladiators probably pretty happy with being able to squeeze all of that out of one singular smoke.
Yeah.
They killed Razor, Shadow Demon, a tier 3 and almost the range barracks, and now it's just a matter of, okay, can you do it once more? The next time they have a successful move, there's guaranteed barracks in mid, there's no glyph. The other tier 2 towers are up though. So
Roche number 2. Roche off is about to occur.
Showing him, the rest of the team hunting.
Alright, this could be a big kill. Arrow does hit. He is popping that shield, but he is melting. So much damage coming from G2IG, and eventually he does pop. Like a pinata. Does have his buyback though.
Do they keep going here? Yes.
And his Doom is back in 13 seconds. We might see a buyback come out. And so he's doing a cut the grenade, and I will get get to the low ground, and Monet will eventually clean him up. Takes a while. Has the double kill. The buyback did come. No BKB on Monet now, as Gaimin looking for a potential fight. To say pretty damn fast. The Dratcha shows about nowhere, forcing the BKB has nothing to say. The Doom's still available. Aiden has his Vito. JT getting beat down by Dratcha. Will try to reset now that static link is applied to him. So soft back from Gaimin Gladiators. And they don't want this dieback to occur on Ace, despite not having used his ult at all in either engagement. That'll break up the fight completely.
Very clutch there. Very good disruption save on X-Nova. They don't have a smoke, and they obviously don't have Moonlight Shadow because Solar Flare is what everybody seems to be taking now. Yeah. So, this is pretty awkward, actually.
Yeah, Roche belching, so they know that he is.
There's the smoke. Boca doing his best to connect them fast.
Pretty low. I don't know if they're gonna get this in time. In fact, they're not. So everything goes the way of the.
They might take the fight anyway.
Potentially, the Aegis goes to Viper again. They cutting them off from the other side. Quinn is going to be the one that breaks the smoke. There's a Solar Flare pop. The Burrow's right on the bottom side. They delete the sniper. Tofu just blown up. Arrow connected on the Alchemist onto the high ground. And both getting in pretty deep. Quinn going to take a lot of this damage. See life number one. It's not to say already popped the BKB. And now they surround Quinn. Surely getting a red fight here. JT going in with Secretary. Quinn is just getting destroyed. No chance to even attack there. And even Celery follows suit. Dyrachyo has to hightail away with a TP. So in the end, they get the Aegis, or they consume it, I guess, and they also get 3 kills from the G2IG side.
Just absolute genius to let them take Roche there. Love that choice. Now, that was obviously an amazing result for G2IG, but imagine how much better it would have been if that fight had broken out while they were roaching. That could have just flat out won the game. Now, it still puts them in a very, very good position to slow this down. Aegis out of the hands.
The target for G2IG should be able to get it uncontested. Smoke coming from Gaimin. Looks like they want to fight, despite not having Channeled at the ready. Rabbit is stuck in mid-air. Cool animation there. Boca. He's starting to get really farmed as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's another potential scaling hero here in that Mirana that could pivot. With Solar Flare, you're only 1 or 2 items away from becoming a third carry in the game.
That's Dragonlance.
What do you think of his build? Shout out to Sir Action Slacks. 2 boots. Just missing 4 of them.
Yeah, just still missing the rest, but on his way.
Sure, yeah. Maybe that's the biggest difference between the two, is that Boca buys them when they make sense, and Slacks just buys them because he's tilted at you for playing Lifestealer poorly in the safe lane.
Yeah,
so it's jungle for the rest of the game. Buys one of every boot. And it's like, no, I'm not toxic, you are.
Oh, we got a Wind Waker sighting on JT.
Yep.
So even harder to kill. Did not, actually he's going for the Bloodstone next, but panel talked about the fact that against Doom. Lots of blinks out. Ace still stuck in a very precarious spot. Oh my. Okay, that's very fitting actually. Razor was Doom. Won't run away. Fight is starting to dissipate on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Monet posturing a bit, and it looks like you might be right. You win the grand prize.
Is that
of nothing?
Is that dinner?
God, you owe me $100 dinner. Okay, they're gonna group back up with this next wave. We'll see this time and time again. Cinder, once this tower goes down, destroyed. Forever, it seems. No buyback at all. Dyrachyo has to pop the BKB in retreat. That literally might be game over with Luna in your base.
I mean, surely it is.
Nothing is.
You have a minute and no tier 2s. I just triple checked mid, it's gone. They don't even need to.
They're going for Throne. Yeah, they're going to try to force these buybacks, which are not available at all. So just one lane interaction, it might just be GG. Forcing this game 3 already to tier 4's fall. Just the Ancient is exposed now. And Dyrachyo can only look on. He uses his Nullifier for the first time in the game. And then slowly dies in the Sandstorm. And that is going to be the end of game 2. My goodness, G2IG really showing up after a pretty poor performance in game 1.
Yeah, they did what they needed to do. They avoided. So Many new stories to be written, and this game probably no different. I really like the panel's focus on how important this game is for the entire tournament, because it's not just about who drops down. It's also, you know, the whole trajectory of imagine if Gaimin and Spirit play in round 1, right?
Yeah.
That influences everything else for many of the other potential favorites for the tournament that those two teams might eliminate. I mean, one of them would be eliminated. And in either case, whoever drops down against Spirit, I don't feel like will be a significant underdog anymore necessarily when we've seen, you know, we've seen Spirit bleed today, and now these two teams are bringing, especially G2IG in the second game, leveling up a little bit was very refreshing to see for their chances whether they win or lose this one.
Yeah, it was very obvious that they had a nice little talk with Korean Barbecue, aka Jack Chen, a very famous figure in the Dota 2 community, after that game 1, and they really bounced back because it was a rough showing in that game 1.
Yeah, for sure.
But you could look at it the other way as well, Cinderin, is that Gaimin didn't perform to their usual selves in that game number 2.
There's always two sides to it.
And looking at these lineups, what are your thoughts? Are we seeing fast gameplay?
So I think for Gaimin, it's not the same as last game in terms of like being on a timer necessarily, because X-Nova taking a beating down bottom, second soul assumption.
Ooh, and that's extra gold if he took that fast.
He did indeed take death toll, so
all right.
Nice extra money there. So yeah, what I was gonna say was there's a potential for this bottom lane to be very explosive. I think Marcy Visage is a incredibly strong lane against Ench as well as Lina, because both heroes have a little bit of a hard time fending for themselves when they do get this displaced, which is what Marcy does best. So they've got to be very careful not to bleed too much down there. As for GG, just play it very aggressive, keep the momentum up. It's a bit harder to feel a clear timing in this game when looking at both drafts. Then I felt last game was rather obvious, right? This time around, there's a lot more. Oh, hang on, Baboka. Oh, damn, they're getting really low up here on both heroes. Gaimin Gladiators playing super aggro. Duracho on Windranger will not have the same stress on him as he did on Alk in the last game. I think Windranger can be a super late game carry with 6 slots. I can easily get it done. And this time around, the wild card for me is Tofu not playing Sniper. He's playing Marcy. This hero can carry games from the 4 position in a way that Sniper cannot. You get a BKB, you already start becoming a threat. Suddenly you get a Basher, and then you can start solo killing cores. And that will be a nice X factor for them to have further down the stretch if this does go later. So I think Gaimin probably feel a little bit calmer about this one.
Yep, I would totally agree with that, and nothing to say. Playing in the mid Earthshaker, we've seen this pop off from time to time. Very cool hero to watch. Yep. It is against a Storm Spirit, which can, at this level, start to bully a bit, but nothing to say is off to a pretty good start in terms of CS, leading the way against Quinn, just slightly.
Yeah, we'll be forced to buy a healing salve here, though, so that's already some net worth lost, if you will, against Quinn. Has not been the story of offlane Kunkka most of the time. So that is good news for the side of Gaimin Gladiators that Duracho's doing this well.
Let's talk about that a bit, because Kunkka has changed quite a bit in this last big patch in terms of hit the nade and whatnot, but
yeah,
if you're off to a rough start in the offlane as Kunkka, how much comeback potential do you have in this meta?
I mean, as long as
hold that thought, because Monet is getting aggressed on another soul assumption to come, and even more extra gold for Ace. Off to a very good start in this game.
I think this lane is very likely to, I'm not going to say it's going to decide the game, but it's going to decide what style G2IG will have to play come minute 10. If this lane is a disaster, as it is, it's not there yet, but it's definitely not looking too hot. Monet's recovery curve might be multiple minutes longer than you had planned, and that is not good news when you're playing against Storm and Visage as Lina. So definitely looking to potentially help that lane with Mirana. Leaving Kunkka alone against this lane does not feel nice though, but we'll see what they choose to do. For Kunkka, if the lane doesn't go too hot, you get 2 bracers, phase boots, you can farm a couple of stacked ancient camps or some sort of jungle and ultimately get to your blade mail, which is probably his item of choice here. Playing against Windranger, Visage, and Storm, it seems like a nice purchase. Yeah. Good damage onto Baboka here. Torrent will miss.
Shadow Poison stacks 2 at the moment. 3rd will be there as well. that fourth, which I think would lead to a kill. He was able to. Counter potential does G2IG have this?
Ironically, I don't think this, from my perspective, is one of Ace's best 5 heroes. He's just
he's
really
good with so many at this rate.
He's really good with a lot of aura heroes, so you just think of him. But I think there are other heroes that suit him better, and that also makes the pick more interesting to me. I think specifically they were looking for something like they were talking about the Lina. Maybe that matchup really spoke to them with the Mars combination as a lane. What do I expect from him? I mean, he's probably just going to go... He's going to get the drums first, which is very standard enough to take instant aggro.
All right, bows into... Thanks for the blink dagger there. That ends up resulting in the kill onto Tofu. Nothing to say for the Chant Totem. Oh my, doing a lot of damage to Quinn. He does have his Zit. He's going to go on in, and Duracho making his rotation.
Wow, they brought them
as a position 1 win runner, yeah.
Yeah, see, that I was thinking the exact same thing here. Was that TP worth it at all? I think Shaker was dead no matter what. Duracho does get the kill with his TP power shot, but I actually think that TP might have been unnecessary, and that freed up some nice space here for JT. Already made the decision. He already had the decision tree in his mind there. If I get vaulted, I'm instantly ulting.
Right.
There was no hesitation, so he already mapped that out. Monet.
They're in Duracho. They run into Monet. Have a vision for the disruption.
Power shot already went down though, so I think he might be okay here.
Making his way to the other side.
Maybe not.
Shackle. Easy location for that as Monet now.
Oh, he's dead
away. All right. Wait.
No, a lot of poison stacks.
Okay.
He had 4 stacked him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, that's even worse than dying. Now he dies and has no
to
TP.
walk all the way back. I mean, that's 2 deaths already for him.
Big rotations. Look at how aggressive and involved Duracho is. He went mid, then he went bot. Now he's back to top. So opening up.
I don't know if they're going to come defend this.
It's extremely difficult to hold this tower. They know there's support back up there. Lina and Dench are extremely vulnerable to getting just collapsed on, and I think a good play call to not pursue any defense here. The question is, what are you going to do instead? Like, if you're just running circles top and nobody's there, that feels pretty bad. So ideally, they would have liked to make their own move of the same kind and just start poking this top tower, but it's been pretty slow.
Duracho made his way over there as well. Not going to find anybody. And you can see basically the counter here for G2IG is to just rush the 0 on top. As we can see nobody is there.
Eventually they got started on it pretty slowly, but I guess they'll get it. Duracho on Monet.
Okay. Steals a creep.
That was
not looking for a kill, though.
Absolutely riveting action. Top tower will fall, so tower trade at the end of the day, not looking too shabby there for G2IG, honestly, considering how that started out. I thought they were just going to lose the tower for free, but they do get a trade of their own.
Duracho just wasted so
now
much
mid
time, so a bit under-leveled.
Oh, this is a good move from Gaimin. Monet. Perfect read that he's in this camp right now.
Quinn looking for the rune, but Monet is the one getting ganked. He's gonna spot them first. Shadow Boys against the vision. The disruption with the familiars nearby is gonna be an easy cleanup. Death number 3.
Such
on
nice
Monet.
pick. That was really, really nice.
Torrent. I turn it over on Fashion Team 5 as Celery. Looks like he's gonna take a boat to the face. Soul Sunshine doing damage against X-Node, but Celery's gonna be able to die. Well done to him as Tofu might be next. Trying to apply as much pressure to Baboka as possible to end up going kill the way of Ace. So it's a 2 for 2 as X-Nova continually takes Soul Assumptions over and over and over. And
nice Torrent might have saved.
Familiars, no, Soul Assumption from far away is Ace.
Oh, no way.
Kill TP attempt, but he will die.
Wow, that was so close. That resummon into double bird stun to try to TP out in front of Kunkka was really cute.
In this game, he's been getting bullied constantly. We'll see if that creates enough pressure. Gaimin. I'm not sure if they're going to be surprised by this. 12-minute blink dagger. Shaker missing now.
Yeah. Celery broke it.
Celery.
Okay, that is the shortest smoke of the game.
Okay, very nice.
Of the series so far.
Arcane Rune is denied by the Satyr.
Starting to mount some pressure. They really want to put some pressure with this.
Oh, the arrow action again with the disruption from Celery on the side. Yep, Echo with the creep wave. That is a lot of damage when evaporates.
Really heads up play there. They wanted to go and push this tower anyway because of the siege creep, so they bring in the Ench with a Satyr from the side, and they find a nice combination with the level 1 fissure into arrow. Not even a guaranteed connection. Force out the disruption and then the timing on the wave. Could not have been any better there for G2IG. Beautiful stuff.
Quinn is now the bottom net worth for Cores, despite getting that last kill, in fact. But yeah, Monet Gonna have a much better time getting back in this game now that he's got that Maelstrom.
Ace looking for a flank, but there is enough to save hiding.
Echo Slam, he's gonna use it onto 2 with the fissure to fall. Spin the damage to take out Message. Yes! Ace is dead. Tofu next.
Beautiful
But Voka
bait.
gets the double kill. Masterfully done.
You really gotta say, like, G2IG woke up after game 1. I'm very impressed with how I was losing to it. That's even worse. No, it was a different time. The item was actually quite decent on Wind Ranger back then.
Classic days. Smoke from Gaimin. They'll use some of their vision here. Is they're gonna delete the ward. Potentially connect with Quinn. Yeah, he's now smoked up, so this will be the Orchid reveal. He's gonna have a haste rune as well. Wait a bit to bait somebody in potentially. I'm gonna say though, seems to be somewhat ready for this mid aggression. There's the big sit. I don't know about this one. Orchid. I'm gonna say looking for the echo flag. He gets it on to 2. The enchantment revolver there. It's a disruption. Save one X point now. Pretty low. Might have to back away. The big boy comes in. X Nova. Relatively low as well. The Earthshaker's the first to fall for G2IG. And JT looks to be next on the list as Gaimin Gladiators are winning this handily. X-Nova slow to a crawl. This is going to be likely the 3rd kill if they can find them around the trees. Indeed they do. Double kill for Celery.
Wow. Okay, that was so close in so many ways. So the Echo Slam response there from Shaker is good, but the follow-up isn't quite there. They get the very good disruption from Celery. Duratio gets his BKB off that. Like the panel was talking about, they were hoping he would go Maelstrom BKB and then not immediately get the Gleipnir, and that's exactly what he did. Without BKB there, they lose this fight. He comes out, he gets immediate BKB off. The Laguna Blade is dodged by Storm Zipping, so that did 0 damage. That might have killed Quinn. So many little things there for Gaimin Gladiators just came together beautifully, and they end up getting 3 kills in a tower. G2IG just want to immediately go for this though. Duratio senses it coming. And nope, does he actually? Gets X, arrow.
Yeah, arrow's actually going to hit. It's a very long duration. LSA into Blue Beta again. Disruption comes down for the potential save. Fisher walking into 2 separate fights, it looks like. Hey, getting this so much damage from Duratio. Whirlwind is going crazy. They get the Marana. Monet's very low in the tree line. He will eventually be brought down as well. 2 kills for Gaimin as JT limping away. Make it a 3rd as X-Nova's picked off. JT looks to be okay, but great fight from Gaimin Gladiators. They are up 8K already.
That was, I mean, that Gaimin are bringing better. And the Shadow Demon, once again, this hero seems to have been really valuable in every game I've seen it in this tournament.
Yeah, it has.
I really think that's a look out.
Long zip for Quinn. Power shot from Garage from afar. The Whirlwind to follow with a nice fissure. The arrow's going to connect onto Quinn, but a shackle shot. And that's up to 2. Oh no! What a disaster for G2IG. Selena is lost. X-Nova caught in no man's land. Cancellation of the TP there by Celery. This will lead to the 2nd kill. They do get out with their Earthshaker, but man, that shackle shot was quite something.
That is about as long as that shackle can stretch, by the way. If there's like 15 more range between them, it doesn't connect, I think. So,
their current lead.
although only 2 tiers for sure. Yeah. I think high ground is a little bit dodgy. The enemy team has fissure blocks, they have X mark. Lina is very good defensively.
Celery, take it. Please take it. I know they're waiting for it.
Deny it. Let the intrusive thought
That would
win.
be the best if it's like this long walk into deny. That would be amazing.
God, let the intrusive thoughts win for once.
It will be Quinn with the... Oh,
Unsurprising. And now he has a BKB as well.
wait, what happened? Okay, so you pick up the Aegis like 30 seconds after the drop. We're going to talk about this in just a minute. This is actually interesting. Quinn, he's coming for him, but he's going to zip away. He's just fine.
I think I know what question you're about to ask, so I'm going to answer it right away.
Yeah, can you have 2 Aegis at the same time?
In theory, that was not the question I was expecting. That was kind of an extreme version of it.
Yeah.
I believe the timer for Roche respawning starts when he dies, and the timer for the Aegis starts when you pick it up. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I know the second part's definitely true.
Yeah, so in theory, if it was lying on the ground for 5 minutes,
Yeah, you could have
pick
2.
up that Aegis. I don't know if it ever can respawn or something.
No, I doubt it.
I don't.
But even if you pick it up with before it expires, yeah, they're gonna have it now, I believe. It should refresh. No, that's right. That's after the melee rack. So this is actually
They just give up.
full set for Gaimin.
I don't blame them. I feel like this fight was extremely difficult to take, but the problem is, can you even buy enough time to defend mid then? Like that one, surely you
another
have
aura.
Yep,
Now they have literally every aura except Shiva's.
We're almost there.
Yep.
Surely there's another aura after the fact.
Arcanist armor.
So he gained 3 levels from those apparently. Quinn,
That's kind of nice.
to get torrented. Still has the Aegis for 30 seconds.
Nice to
Decent amount of damage. Disruption eventually comes. And Ace, I believe, just spawned his gargoyles. Tower is about to get dropped. Surely they just deny it here. The next zip in. The JT is fine to just get these shadow poisons.
The ward is vision of the sentry, so that's
He
going
does
to get
not care about shadow.
or destroyed.
Okay, I mean, the Aegis is about to expire. Based on how that was starting with that first lane interaction being given away, I feel like they've crossed the river in quite a while.
This torment.
Oh, that would have been embarrassing.
Oh, if that was BB team, the game would have ended. They would have died 2 heroes and Gaimin would have pushed.
Quinn finds JT. Ooh, the cancellation of the teleportation into the shackle shot. They don't really do that much damage to him because Kunkka's very tanky these days, finally. So, okay, we see the demonic purge onto JT, so no Crimson or anything of that nature for him. Finally, we'll as more heroes are just dropping like flies from G2IG. What kind of a fight was that?
That wasn't
they get
even
2
a fight.
buybacks, and now it's a 3 versus 5, not including the Aegis.
That was the DLC to Lemmings.
Wow, that was so weird. That was the weirdest fight. How does the game end like this? After all of that? All right, now the Roche's banner in the top lane, going for the Megas is Gaimin. There is a fortification, which doesn't look like they're going to use for the tower. Maybe they concede these and try to go against the Megas. Rachio opens with the Axe Hunter individual against the Sherlock. No buyback for nothing to say. And Gaimin Gladiators just all of a sudden win this game. GG's call. All right, a weird ending. My goodness.
Yeah, all right. Game 2, it happened, and they moved on. And then they said, game 1 is what it's, that's more like it. That's how we want to play it. Yeah. And honestly, this wasn't even, I feel like there's still room for improvement. I mean,